were, we probably couldn't hear each other. But
That's
I
what it
got
was.
it now. I got it now. So look, today's conversation is going to be for the next 15, 20 minutes. As above, so below, and what does that look like? Is it an illusion? Is it something real? Is it something that you can really bring into to focus? Because uh, I think once you put something out in what we call the universe, it's out there, whether you want to believe it or not. And just as it is mentioned in the various prayers, our Father which art in heaven, that will be done as above, so below. So today we're going to talk on that conversation because what I believe is that when you try to awaken a person who's been asleep for a long time, or when a person who's drowning, when you try to save them, uh, you may end up having to really cause that person some harm or hurt because a drowning person will hurt you. A person who's sleepwalking and you try to wake them up, they will hurt you. So you have to be careful on who you are trying to save. So in this thing we call Freemasonry, in this thing we call the awakening, in this thing where we want to just kind of wake people or shake them in such a way to where they don't be startled, but wake them up can be very dangerous. So we're going to talk about as above and so below. So first I want to introduce my guest for the day is thrice Pusan Grand Master for the Lodge of Affection for the Western Masonic Jurisdiction, Noble Jason Duran. And that's a story behind that name, but I'm gonna let that be where it's at. But we're gonna get right into this today. Greetings, brother Dwight from the UK. Hey, brother Dwight, you know what? Would you like to be a part of this conversation? I can definitely send you this link, and you can probably pop right in. Let me see if I can add brother Dwight to this link here since he's up today. Let me see, can I add him? Let me see if I can share this link with him. Let's see. I think I can.
Oh,
Back. I had to add brother Dwight. I just added him. Peace, everybody. You're just coming in. Today our conversations as above, so below. So with that being said, brother Jason, go right ahead. Pop on in here. What you got for me?
um, well, you know, based off what we're discussing here, it's definitely challenging to, you know, you got to be mindful about waking people up. And I think that that's why we're finding so much resistance because so many people are still asleep,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, how do people respond when you wake them up out their sleep? I mean, I know me personally, I don't like to be waking up out my sleep. don't, don't disturb my rest, okay?
Right.
When I'm sleep, I'm sleep. But
Mm.
unfortunately, as a society, we have a lot of people that are putting their lives and maybe their finances on the line. You know what I mean? Maybe brothers like Kyrie Irving, stuff like that. Um, brothers like Kanye West, where they, especially with Kanye, he may say a lot of things that's controversial and piss people off, but at the same time, we can't ignore, just because we don't agree with one or two things that he says, we can't, disagree with the whole message. And
Mm-hmm.
here we are. We're always asking for something. We're always asking for our celebrities to kind of step up and do a little something extra. But then when they start doing it, they don't get the support. Like Ice Cube, he never got the support when he was stepping to the Democratic Party and the Republican Party about a contract with Black America. Um, and he got a lot of pushback for that. But when you look at what he was trying to present, it was things that was beneficial to the people. But he got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pushback from his own well, I was going to say from his own people. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so it's it's tough. It's
Hmm.
tough, man. It's tough.
I would add to this. What I've found is that in doing this particular podcast, this YT that I've been doing now for 5 years to be exact, what I've found is that the more information you can give people, and don't force it on them. I'm not going to force anything on anybody. You need to go do your own research. If I'm saying something and you think I'm BSing you, go do your own research and you'll find. You'll find out for yourself. Because a lot of information, even as a Mason, when I do my own research, I'm like at awe of a lot of information that's out there that is hidden. This is why when we say as above, so below, is because of what we put out. The same energy that you put out is the same energy that rises above and the same energy that's below. And I say that based upon the actions and reactions that we give each other. Why we got to be afraid of each other? Who taught us to be afraid of each other? Who taught us that we was enemies to each other? And you and I both know that's something that has to be broken. That energy has to be broken because this is what we do to each other. We keep that same energy, but we don't keep it towards no other people.
Mhm.
My brothers who are Hebrew Israelites, you will go to a church, a black church, you will surround the black church, you would tell the people this and that, but you won't do that to a white church. You won't go to a police station, surround that police station, and say, we don't like you shooting us down, but we'll do it to each other.
Mhm.
We need to take that same energy that we put and focus on each other and put it on somebody else. And I
Mhm.
guarantee you that it would change. I guarantee you that. But that's something that we have to do. It begins with me, it begins with you, but we have to do that. I know you do a lot of volunteer work. I know you have a youth football team you work with, you coach. And I know we was talking the other day and something happened even when you was there. Explain to us what happened in that situation.
Uh, you know, I'm sitting here, and it's unfortunate. Hold on, let me make an adjustment here. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. After one of the games were over, we're in our playoff situation,
Hmm.
and so the second game had just ended. So I walked to my truck to kind of regather myself mentally from the game because that game we just lost. So I'm went to my truck, which I was parked outside of. We play out of high school, so I was parked outside of school a few blocks down. It's in a
Hmm.
it's in a community where it used to be black, but now
Hmm.
it's predominantly Hispanic. What you would call Hispanic.
Hmm.
Mexican Americans, whatever, right? And so I go to my truck, and I'm sitting back, relaxing, and I see this individual. You know, he caught my attention. I'm from the streets. I grew up in I grew up in the hood. I used to have a different type of life, so I'm aware of things.
Uh-huh.
And so when I see this individual, I'm peeping him out, and I never lose sight of him. And I see him walk to the corner, and he kind of looked around his environment, and then I saw him walk to the far end of the same block, but on the opposite
Right.
corner,
Hmm.
and he looking around. So
Hmm.
my spider senses immediately goes up instantly. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, I see what's happening here.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna just for the sake of Facebook, I'm gonna say I'm gonna use the word my visa, you know,
Okay.
because I always keep my visa with me and it's everywhere I want it to be.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay. Okay.
So I instantly grab my visa, you
Hmm.
know, and out of defense, you know. And so he kind of walked back to the first corner and then he started approaching my vehicle. So at this point, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm already ready to swipe my visa.
Right. Right.
Okay. And as he's getting closer, I'm like, man, if he take a few more steps, I'm gonna have to get some. I'm gonna have to use my visa.
Correct.
And just as he's taking that step, he like, oh, I guess he finally noticed my damn
Shirt.
football attire. I have my football jersey on. I got my hat
Right.
on with the team colors and all of that.
Right.
And he like, oh, you one of them. Oh, you a football coach or whatever, right? And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, man, exactly. And he like, oh, okay, my bad. It's all good. And I'm like, nah, it's not all good.
Mm.
You know, it's not cool. Why? What is the issue? Oh
Right.
man, I don't know you, and you just sitting right here, and I asked my neighbors who you were, and you just sitting right here, and I'm like, man, I can't just sit here and mind my business. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I can't just sit here and not bother you. I'm like, clearly, everything that I'm doing, I got my window rolled down. I'm chilling. Like I pose no threat to you at all. Like you have to be able to assess a situation when
Hmm.
somebody's a threat or what they not. I mean, I did. That's why I got my visa. So
Right. Right.
we're kind of going back and forth a little bit. And he like, man, I told you that I was trying to apologize. I said, yeah, but what you got to realize is you can't look at me and instantly think that I'm an enemy
There you go. Right
because
there.
I could have. I said because, and no offense to any of our European American brothers that may be listening or watching, but I'm just being real. I'm like, now what if I was Caucasian or
Hmm.
Hispanic, and I'm sitting in here with a trunk full of visas, saying I'm about to swipe my visa with any and everybody black that I see,
Right.
you know? And I said, we can't naturally look at each other. I mean, this is a real dialogue as I'm holding my visa. He got his visa, you know, and we
Hmm.
really having this dialogue. At the end of the day, clearly, I'm here, everything good, nothing popped off, but it's just it's just sad that something could have happened either way it go, it wouldn't have been a
Right.
good situation for myself. And why? I'm minding my business. I'm coaching football. My son is playing on the team. He's, a couple 100 yards away. Like, why are we so quick to do this type of damage to each other? But if I was that Caucasian guy or Hispanic guy sitting here with the intent to do harm, I said you wouldn't have said nothing to me. You wouldn't have said nothing to me. You'd have looked and be like, oh, that's just a white guy and go on about your business. But I'm the killer though.
Do you think that's because that's the mentality that's been passed down to us? I mean, because like the famous question is often asked, who taught us this? Because somebody had to teach you this. This is not a normal thing. This is not a normal thing. I would say atmosphere is one of the things. Where you're at. I mean, somebody had to instill that into you. That person should not be trusted. He looks like you. He walks like you. It seems like you're hunting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seems like. He
Mm-hmm.
walks like you. He talks like you. He lives in your same community, but yet you would take his life within a moment. So when we talk about as above, so below, that same energy that you willing to put into me and take my life should be the same energy that is out there to protect your community, because that's what you said. Because that's what you said. And what I'm finding in my own journey is that those who are in my circle, you remember when we left Supreme Session
Mm-hmm.
and that whole situation went down?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had a reading done.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that. Didn't I tell you about the
Yeah,
reading I had done?
yeah, yeah.
So so even in that situation about my own personal walk, I have to be careful, because you've even told me that. Look, Saul, you can't do what you used to do. And I get it now. I get it now. So we have to be mindful and careful of the same prayers and the same energies we put out there, because someone or something is happening right now in this country, and we all can feel it. We all can feel it. We just don't know which way it's going to go. But I know for a fact we all feel this. Something ain't quite right, especially after this COVID thing we're going through. We all can feel it. We all can sense it. And this is where we need to be on the same page in regards to who we are, what we
Mhm,
want to do, and where we're going.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So
No,
when
and that's, huh? I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. Mm.
And to add on to that, like when I got home that evening, after dealing with the situation,
Mm-hmm.
um, I had to have me a little, I had to have me a strong drink. You know,
Right, right.
I had to have me a strong drink, and like I said, it really bothered me, and I'm not a type of person that cries like that, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
I had to. I cried, man, because I'm like, this is crazy how we do each other, and again. Of course, I grew up in the communities. I'm from certain, grew up in certain areas and stuff. So it's uh, nothing that's new, but it's again, you just get tired. It's
Right.
tiring. It's sickening. Like, this individual doesn't know anything about me. He don't know me. He don't. You're so willing to take my life, but bro, I'm a coach. I'm teaching martial arts. I'm coaching football. I do outreach. I'm involved in my community. I got a podcast where I'm constantly talking about stuff that's positive, and you would have just killed me. You know, or and vice versa. And
Mm-hmm.
but why? Oh, that's tragic.
Uh-huh.
That type of stuff is tragic. Like, damn, like and I had to battle. Because when I got home, I'm like, man, F my people. I'm like,
Right.
man, F my people. I'm cool. Cause I'm the first one. You know how I am. I'm the first one that
I
like,
know.
nah,
I
nah,
know.
nah, nah. We gonna plan on, we gonna stand on our square. To power to the people. I'm that brother. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that just really like, damn. And it made me think, like, do I need to stop? Like, why do I need to? I'm out here basically fighting for people that'll take me out.
Well, you got to look at those. Wait, wait. But you have to look at those who came before you, who did the same thing, the exact same thing. And we can't be so punkish in the sense of saying, you know what, forget about it. Because it's worth it. And when you find something worth it, you go all in. I don't care what it is. If it's a relationship, if it's family, if it's whatever, if it's worth it. If it's worth the fight, then go fight. But if it ain't worth it, then walk away. But you have to make that decision. In the process of making that whole decision, is it worth it? You got to lay it all out. You got to lay it, here it is on the table. Now, is it worth it? Is my
Mm-hmm.
life worth this?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all make sacrifices. We all make sacrifices. Be it good, bad, or indifference, we make them. And that's the thing we have to look at, just as when we pray, or the Lord's Prayer, whatever prayer you're praying, however you break that thing down, when you put those things into order, you are expecting something to happen. You don't
Mm-hmm.
pray for no, you don't just pray to pray. You don't you don't put that energy out just to put it out. You want something to come from it. When you invest your time in those kids playing football, you want something. That's an investment. When you put your time in teaching martial arts, that's an investment. You are expecting something to happen, and that's what we do. It is not just, oh, I'm just here just because. No, my purpose is to invest in these kids because you like, I heard what you said. You done that thing. You didn't always used to be Noble Jason, So you done that thing. So you taking a different perspective and investing your time into making sure that someone else don't have to go down that road to sooner or later wake up and realize, damn, that wasn't smart. That wasn't smart. So look, before we go any further, I just want to send a big shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Nico Sanchez, I see you just popped in a little while ago. Greetings to everybody. Peace to you. Thank you for coming in. My brothers from Africa, thank you. Dwight, thank you. I sent you a join in. Dwight, take a look at your text message I just sent you. I wanted you to join in on this conversation, So take a look at that and come on and join us. But in the process, as we look at this thing, we say, as above, so below. I think of it as being in a matrix per se. So anything I reflect outside of this, that's or below this is it. You know, I can't. I would want to put it. I can't reflect anything but light. That's me. I can't reflect anything but light. When you see me, I can't reflect anything but light. So anything, any darkness, when this light hit it, it's gonna have to go. You know, even when I'm
Yes,
in a
sir.
tunnel by myself, if it's dark and I reflect who I really am, which is light,
Mhm,
the darkness is gonna
mhm,
have to go. This is why
mhm.
you hear the saying, "Hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel," because I'm reflecting that light. So as above, so definitely below. But we have to reflect that. We have to put that energy into that. And I believe for myself, being around my Masonic brothers, this is what the objective is in a sense. That's just my personal opinion. Go ahead.
No, you know, I agree with what you said 100%. And going back to the other thing you said about, it happened to people before me and making those sacrifices. And it is a sacrifice because, you putting yourself on the line, and because again, you're dealing with people that are like we talking about sleep and they're not woke. I mean, the
Mhm.
individual that I'm just having telling everybody about right now, he told me how old he was. And the dude's older than me. He was, you know
Still
what I mean?
sleep.
This dude told me, he's like, I'm 42 years old. And I'm like, damn, man,
And
you
you still out
42
here.
years old? You about to throw your whole life away. You about to injure somebody or get injured for what? Because you're not used to seeing my face in my vehicle
Mhm.
parked right here on your block. By the way, you own nothing over here,
Where
but
you
it's
at?
your
Where you
block.
be at, young lady? Are you in the hospital here? Yes. What department? Fourth floor. Okay, I'm gonna have to visit the fourth floor. Enjoy your day. I am. Oh, okay. That means I gotta come to the fourth floor. I just gotta go to the fourth floor. I'm sorry. I gotta go to the fourth floor. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm at work, bruh. I mean, I'm sorry. I gotta go to the fourth floor.
I
Sorry.
can't with you right now. I can't.
Hey, here's the thing though. Check it out. I mean, really, let on a serious tip, if anybody who knows me and been around me, uh, this is it. What you see is what you get. This ain't no put on. This ain't nobody
Oh
trying
my
to be
god.
something they ain't. Hey, I am I am who I say I am. This
I,
is not
I,
no put on.
I,
Am I
I
right?
feel you. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
when
sir.
people see me live and I come on, brothers, sisters, this is it. If we're ever sitting around having a conversation, bruh, you know how we
Right.
do it under the tree. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
you know how we do it under the tree.
Yeah.
So ain't
Yeah.
nobody, ain't no need of you like, brothers, come on, man. Look,
Ah. Well, oh my god. But yeah. Um. It's unfortunate, but I think for those that's out here, I'm not gonna say I think, I know, and including myself, because like I said, I came home and I had to battle all type of ego. I had to battle the ego of, do I want to continue to be positive in my community? I had to battle the ego of, you know, do I want to backtrack? And you know what I mean? Because so you get offended when people approach you a certain way sometime, and you know what I mean. Your ego, like, man, go back on. And it's like, nah, it's good. It's over with. It's done. It is what it is. The Most High was
right?
with me. I made it. But, I think for us, we just got to keep fighting, understand that it's not about trying to, save everybody and bringing
No,
light to
'cause
every.
you know everybody don't want to be saved. Let's just
No,
let's
no,
just let's
it's not
just
gonna happen. It's
it's
not gonna
not gonna
happen.
happen. It's
It's
not
not
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen. Just be the one or two that you get. that you are able to reach, that was the mission.
That was the
That
mission.
that was the mission. That was it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this I want to send a big shout out to my brother who just popped in from Prince Hall. Send him a big shout out. Let's see. Amon, what's going on, Brother Jackson? I hope everything is well with you and yours. But with that being said, as we go through this thing we call life, as we journey through it, the objective, this is me. When you are handed those working tools in your Masonic work, because you're giving in your Masonic journey, you're giving working tools all the way up to the Royal Arch degree. After the Royal Arch degree, you get no more working tools. No more. So when I speak about as above, so below, and you take those working tools, you begin to use them for the function that they was handed to you to use. Then you begin to see a different perspective on life as a Mason. I'm only speaking from a Masonic point of view. Once you break that down, because a lot of the symbols that has been handed to us in Freemasonry, and a lot of people want to call them occult symbols, but they're not occult symbols when you understand symbolism is the first language for man. It is
Mhm.
truly, before there was language, you had symbols. And those symbols laid out a language for man to be able to relate to, just as it is in Freemasonry. We are handed all of these symbols. So wherever we go as a Mason, we should be able to speak to each other through symbolism. But some of us hadn't gotten there yet because we're so hung up on a variety of things that keep us asleep. It really do. It keeps us asleep. It keeps us from identifying and finding out who we really are in the
Mhm.
big picture of things. So when someone brings you a new idea, when someone brings you something that can potentially change your mind, your mindset or your thought, you are resistant. Oh man, you better get that Quran out of my face. You better get the Book of the Dead out of my face. Oh man, you better get that. Man, look, brother, what is his name? I want to say Brother Cross. This brother showed me a book that cost like $2,000. I was like, bro, I ain't paying no $2,000 for the book. And little did I realize, a lot, there's a lot. Man, anytime you have a book that costs that much, apparently they feel that you can't afford it. That's number one. And there's something in that book.
Mhm.
It's something in that book. So I tell anybody all the time, man, books, get the books. People got them on their phone. I got it on my phone. Brother, when the phone go down and
Mhm.
you can't pull from your library, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. Period. And that's
Mhm.
what I've been respected by Brother Dwight Muhammad, the brother out of England, when he showed me his library of over 300 books. I was like, well, damn, I got a few, but he has many. So when we look at this as above, so below, we really have to take into mind, what's really going on, what's being played around me. That whole thing. I'm hearing this crow, my thoughts, bro, my thoughts about this
Yeah, I
crow,
hear you.
you know. But this is what we have to really consider. That's the truth. And so when we have these deep conversations, when we have conversations at all of that has to come into all of that has to come into play. All
You
of it.
know, I think too. I think a lot of it too. A lot of this too. We have to be able to check our egos because
Hmm.
that ego is a mother man. That ego, that crow on you.
Right there, hit right over my head.
Careful now. Careful.
Maybe I'm saying too much. I don't know.
Hey,
You
it's a
know.
message. It's a
Hey,
message.
hey,
Hey,
real.
but I think a lot of times our ego tends to get in the way of things that we probably
Uh-huh.
should or should not do. And I know that crow's getting on my nerves, and I'm over here on the other side of it. But um, anyway, I think sometimes we get too caught up in wanting people's approval about stuff
Hmm.
because that path of light and darkness, that's a lonely path at times. It can get
Mm.
it could you'll be feeling like you traveling alone because you'll look around and you be like, damn, most people don't understand what I'm saying. You
Right.
know, you might even get ostracized by what you're saying.
Hmm.
And so sometimes people quit, or they may fall back like, well, nobody likes me, or I'm not getting the feedback that I wanted, so I'm gonna fall back. And you gotta just check your ego sometimes, like, bro, everything
Hey,
and everybody is not gonna like you. Um, Everybody doesn't have to like you. Just do your job. Just do what the Most High is putting in your life to do. Who
mm,
likes you and all of that, and how many people like you, all that stuff doesn't matter. Just be
mm,
who you are. And how many people can say that? How many people can actually say that I am that I am, and how many, and really mean that? And how many people can actually really say that I'm living in my purpose, that I know my purpose and I'm living in my purpose? Everybody can't say that. Even people that got money, everybody can't say that.
that's true. That's true. But I'm gonna tell you this: that crow, he went from one spot to the next, man. He's on my nerve. So look, I'm gonna cut it short, man. I gotta get back in. But look, we're gonna do
All
this
right.
again, and I'm gonna have Brother Dwight and some others come on because these conversations need to be had. But my next one's gonna be on the OES. My next conversation is gonna be on the OES. Because I get some sisters hitting me up too much. Talk about the OES. So we're gonna get that in. But look, until next time, as always, keep your light on, stay out them bushes, and remember this: I'm not your study guy, but I am here to help you study. So look, bruh. Peace and be well, all right?
All right.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Out.